People, listen. I need 60 seconds. Just give me 60 seconds. Give me 60 seconds. And we are going to start the show. I left my mouse in the other room. Give me 60 seconds. Listen, shout out to my day ones and my stay ones. 1,000 apologies for the late show, people. We've been doing a ton of work, people. We've been doing a ton of work, so we just a little bit late. But listen, we got a very interesting show today, people. We have a boom. Okay, we didn't miss that. Boom. What I do when we do these shows, I make sure that these shows are shows that meet the bar of logic, have some kind of fundamental foundation to back it, right? Something that we can prove at least has enough to get off of the ground. This is what we do here, people. Because I think what people are missing out on is how serious our lives are. People are missing out on how serious our lives are. We're playing games. And you know it's fun and it's cool, things like that. But we don't know how serious this thing is because we're having so much fun. Think about it. All of this fun that we're having, it's contributing to the lackadaisical behavior that we demonstrate. It's contributing to us being complacent and comfortable. But we have something for that. We definitely have something for that. Listen, let me get my mouse out because my people are already showing out with the super chats. Okay, it's time to get down to this thing now. Let's go. Where we at? Hold on, where my super chatters at? There we go. Don't do that. Leave that right there. And leave that right there. Shout out to my brother Ether, definitely in the building, rocking out with us. My brother Ether said it's diabolically dastard how often one is made privy of the number of females who get ran through on the job and the men in high positions who share them. All parties involved. My brother said all parties involved are married. And we're seeing that at a heavy rate. Listen, shout out to nobody in this situation rocking out with us. AJ definitely in the building. Shantes. I kind of like that. Shantes Beard. Much love. My brother AJ said just jumping this situation off. But listen, we have an amazing show tonight. What I want to talk to you guys about, I'm not the type who say, well, it's not your fault, but blah, blah, blah. I need you guys to make a dating deal. If you're single, if you've been having a lot of problems on the dating scene, and I'm talking about you've been having these problems quite chronically, to be honest. This isn't something that just started. I'm going to jump from person to person, from man to the woman. But I will say this, ladies, it doesn't affect men the same. When we play with that clock, it doesn't affect us the same. It literally doesn't. Men can play with that clock a little bit without it affecting us on a significant level. Because when we play with the clock, listen to me, when we play with the clock, It doesn't really matter because we can date up until the ages. Okay, we'll just do that. We can date up into the ages of 60. We can always go back and find that chick. We can always make it work. But what I'm going to say to you ladies is this. Tonight's conversation is not about dating drama or any of the things like that. It's not about men versus women, right? Tonight's show is not about who has the upper hand and things of that nature. It's about time. It's about aging. It's about security. And it's about something that most adults are afraid to say out loud. Most of you are sleeping with someone. Most of you are sleeping with someone. Let's be honest about it. Love Lace definitely in the building, rocking out with us. Listen, my brother said, every job I've had since high school, I ran out of fingers and toes to count on in keeping tally of the whoredom and whoremongering. We know that for a fact. We know that for a fact. Ladies, this is going to bite you harder than it's going to bite the men, but you're going to love today's show. A lot of you have come to the conclusions where you really don't think that you have any options because dating, you've just been getting busted down, and that's not really what you intended. Some of you, it's what you intended. Some of you love getting busted down, right? Some of you love getting your spleen split open. Some of you love taking that to your car with those soggy panties. You love it. Listen, some of you, after you walk to your car with those soggy panties, you already have someone else's house who you told them you were going to stop by before you went home from mom's house. Right? How long are you going to do that? How long are you guys going to do that? Most of you are sleeping with someone, spending time with someone, emotionally connected to someone, but you're not building anything tangible together. Listen, think about this. White women, they go to college to find their mate. Let me make sure there's no buzzing going on. White women go to college to find their husbands. It's an amazing strategy. It's an amazing strategy because, of course, it can fail sometimes, but what type of men do you think you're going to find at college? People who are primarily serious about life, right? And who better than to get into a relationship with than somebody who's serious about life, right? Somebody who likely comes from a two-parent household. College can be an incubator for wives and husbands if you utilize it correctly. It most definitely can. It can be an incubator for wives and husbands of the highest caliber. What I mean when I say of the highest caliber is there is a pool of people in that in college who, let's go people, TikTok, tap that screen. Let's go. This would not do. This would not suffice. Let's get it going, TikTok. It can be utilized as an incubator to get you what you want out of life. But here's what I'm going to say to the ladies. You got to stop playing. You guys got to stop playing. You guys know that listen, what I mean when I say playing, you guys have a few guys you deal with over the course of 12 months, right? Maybe some of you who going to lie about it, let's just say you only have 2 that you deal with, right? But for those of you who legit have 4 or 5 guys in a rotation, time is going to catch up with you. Time is going to catch up with you. And listen, once time catches up with you, you'll be wishing that you had time to think of a strategy that you could use to rebuild the damage that you did to your life when you were out there partying and playing games, right? And this is what I'm telling you guys. Most of you are sleeping with someone or spending time with someone. Most of you have some type of connection to someone, right? But you're not building anything tangible together. The whole time that you're out here going to the club, the whole time that, and I'm going to be honest, most of us do it. Most of us have done it. The whole time that you're out there doing whatever it is that you're doing, enjoying life and things like that, nothing is getting built towards your future. Listen, and Joanna, after you stop playing games with me, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Your boobs have gotten saggier. You probably, throughout the discourse of all of this, you probably have 2 or 3 children by You know, that has happened. You've gotten out of shape. Your age has, the clock has continued ticking. You're not as valuable as you used to be. Some of you, I understand some of what I say could be sounding triggering. That's not my intention for this stuff to be sounding triggering. What I'm trying to get you guys to do is understand the sense of urgency that is at your doorstep. A lot of you don't see any alarms going off. You don't hear. How did I get blocked? How did. What? How the heck did I get blocked? Give me a second, people. I want to see what they said I did wrong. Harassment and bullying? What? Okay, people. Well, I guess now it's time for us to go. Excuse me. I guess now it's time for us to go to our other account, which I'm not tripping about it. That was really crazy. I guess you could be right. Maybe we got player hated on. Maybe that's what it is. But they don't know we have 3 accounts. Shout out to 3 accounts. Right? I said shout the F out. Listen, a lot of you have been playing games and you don't even understand that clock has been ticking. Listen, I'm dating you or doing my thing with you. You're doing your thing with me, but the clock is still ticking. By the time we decide that, hey, we didn't have an agreement on dating anyway. We were just smashing, let's be honest. But the clock is still ticking for you. And by the time we do go our separate ways, or I tell you that I'm dealing with another woman, you're left. Listen, you're left.
Welcome to Death Row.
Stranded on death row. The reason that I'm saying this to you guys is it will be 3 times easier for me to rebound as a man than it will be for you to rebound. So listen, I have an amazing, amazing, amazing proposal for you ladies tonight. I have an amazing proposal for you men tonight. We all know that playing games with the building of our future is not to be played with, right? A lot of you are emotionally connected to someone, but nothing is being built towards your future, and you're getting older. So here's the real question tonight. Why are we sleeping together, but not securing each other's futures? Let's tell the truth about this. People are 35, 40, 41, still building from scratch every time they date someone new. Because they're waiting for love. They're waiting for the person that they would prefer to be in a relationship with, right? They're waiting for somebody who appears that they have amazing sex. They're waiting for those things, right? They're waiting for all of the things that appear to not be coming. You're waiting for marriage, emotional certainty. You're waiting for all of these things before you build. You're waiting for someone who you believe your friends and your friends or your girlfriends will be impressed with. You're waiting for the trophy. You're waiting for that perfect guy who has not come in 25 years. So let's do this. You don't wait for love to build wealth. You don't wait for butterflies to build retirement. You don't wait for, I think this is the one, to start prepping for the later years of your life. And because people keep on waiting, they keep restarting How many of you have restarted a relationship after 3 years? Some of you got out of that thing for 3 years, found somebody else, started it. It lasted a year. You're wasting your life. You're wasting your life. Don't you see this? Can't you count the months? Can't you count the years? Look in the mirror. You have gray hair now. You started dating with a full head of hair, healthy hair, youthful hair. And that's not the case anymore. I'm going to address both the men and the women because, listen, women, you can't do what we can do. And, you know, when you guys hear us talk about this up here, you get a little peed off, and I understand it. I understand it. Sometimes it does seem like the double standards get the best of women, right? It does. That's just the way it is. You can't fix or restart anything. You can't, oh, well, God, that's the way God designed this thing to work. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do to try to get around that. There's no getting around it. Look at all of your girlfriends. Look at all of your sisters, right? See, men don't have to keep watch on the clock like women do. A man, if he has kept himself in shape, if his finances are okay, listen, what will beat both of those two? What will beat both of those two? Lord forbid, this ninja has swag. Lord forbid he's a confident man, always did. He won't even have to have money to lock in with a woman. There are women who will say, you don't have to work, baby. The advantages that we have, and I'm not saying this to, how we have advantages. I'm not saying that for that. I'm trying to get you ready for the pretest. The pretest is a blessing. Because what you get on the real test, it sticks and it's real. The pretest gives you a glimpse of the real test. You guys are playing games. You're out here smashing and getting smashed because you're waiting on specific elements. He needs to have only 22 eyelashes that naturally grow out of his eyelashes. Right? You need how much mustache he has. If you could weigh it on scales, you need it to weigh only about half a gram. This is what the hell you guys are out there doing. He needs to be 6 foot. When I go over my girlfriend's house, we got to show up and show out. Period. Right? I said what I said. You're waiting for this. Meanwhile, the construction on your future is also being delayed and waiting. We're doing all of this stuff and nothing is being built towards our future. So I have a proposition for you damn people. Listen, Lena over here in this situation showing out with the Cash App up in this mother. And when I say my stay one, that's my stay one. Right? Oh, that's right, Tiny. Clock that. Right? Because when I walk up on the set with mines, we for sure gonna show out. They gonna know I got me a fine one. How has that been working out? All of these years. Because you keep waiting. You keep restarting the clock. Restarting finances. Restarting stability. Restarting structure. Restarting the clock for the construction of your future. And that's why so many people are behind. That's why so many people are behind. Now, here's the concept that I want to present to you guys. Listen, this is the hottest damn show online. I don't care what nobody say. Somebody who has a hotter show than this, you bring them to me. Right? There's life-changing information being distributed on this platform. I want you guys to become open to this. You're wasting your life while you're playing, but the clock is still ticking. And that's why some of you are going to be 70 years old on Facebook dating on Plenty of Fish. And you won't be able to fight your way out of that paper bag. You'll be swinging, but you won't be hitting anything. I want you guys to think about two adults. They trust each other because they've been dealing with each other off and on for some years. Men know what I'm talking about. Women do too. Most of you have rotations that, you know, people you've been dealing with for the last 10 years where you always know you can go back to that person. She won't be in that relationship long, things like that. Oh, he's going to be blah, 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 right? You can always connect. Men, we know to give you guys, when you tell us this, all right, let me swing through, kiss you on your neck, the bottom of that earlobe. I've been wanting to talk to you about that. I met somebody and I want to see where it goes. Okay, that's what's up. Do you know that we automatically know to reach back out in about 2 months because there's a high likelihood that whatever it was you were experimenting with will be gone. This is the rotation that we all continue to partake in. So your clock gets reset. We are all supposed to have had, on your mark, get set, go. And we're off with the race of building our futures. There are so many of you on here right now who, if we're being honest, you don't even have the blueprint to your future already built out. You don't even know what it's supposed to look like. Therefore, your clock hasn't even started yet. Your clock has not started yet. But I am about to drop a jewel on you guys that can change your life if you're a humble individual. The person who you're letting clap your cheeks, right? Bop you down. You've given this person one of the highest forms of connection and intimacy that one can have with another human being. There has to be some type of trust there. You've let this man nut inside of your womb. And fellas, you've went in bare on this woman. It's going to seem like I'm leaning more towards on the women because this is going to affect women more. It'll affect women more. My people down here with some super chats. I don't want to go too far because I know they're probably talking about. Shout out to Love Lace up here in this situation. Love Lace is definitely in the building, rocking out with us as usual. Shout out to my girl Embrace the Grace, definitely in this place. My girl said this is for the haters, drinking that haterade up in this motherfucker. Listen, shout out to my brother Ether in this situation, setting it off one more again. My brother said sacred energy exchange is a gift from the Most High to be shared between man and woman and his wife, to be shared between a man and his wife. Yet many uses that as a sport or means to gain favor at their jobs. Never crap where you eat, lest ye are harlots. You're playing games. And the foundations of your futures haven't even been built yet. You don't even have the foundations built yet. You haven't even gotten serious about this thing. Shout out to AJ over here in this situation. My brother said there is no how to show up in this mother. Right? So I have a proposal for you people. I have a proposal for you. Those of you who you start dating, you gain interest in someone, you guys have sex, it ends up not working. This is ranging from 2 to 3 months to a year to 2 years. And then your clock resets once this thing. See, the goal in messing with these people is for you guys to come into the cohesive sync that will allow you guys to see the same vision, allow you guys to see the same things that are important to each other and start building from there. But you can't start building because every time you get to the place where it's time to start having that talk about building together, the relationship doesn't last. So you have to start over. It's destroying you, ladies. You have no clue that it's destroying you. So let's do it like this. The person who you've been letting smash you off and on for a certain amount of time, the person who you really dig, right? For some reason, you guys aren't in relationships and things like that. We don't know why. Maybe he's not ready. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe both of you aren't ready. Maybe one of you is waiting for somebody who's better, somebody who you believe qualifies for what you think you qualify for, somebody who meets your standards. A lot of people are waiting because they think what they currently have access to isn't good enough for them, right? So here's what you do. That person you've been sharing your body with, you've already been intimate with them. That person you've been sharing your body with, they haven't found their forever person either. That person who you've been sharing your body with, they aren't doing well on the dating market either. But they're wasting time waiting for romance before building instead of saying, listen, check it out now. Somebody you've been smashing. Sometimes you guys don't hear from each other for a year at a time. You guys still rock with each other, but different things are taking place in different people's lives. And then when some of those things dissipate and calm down in your lives, you think to reach out to old girl again. You think to reach out to old boy again. You think that. And you do. And let the smash games begin once again, right? And it's fine. Well, not in the eyes of Jehovah, but I'm just saying. It's fine. But your clock keeps getting restarted. Your clock keeps getting reset. So how about you reach out to that individual and say, listen, I want to talk to you about something. Me and you have been doing our thing for X amount of time. But as you know, I'm also a disciplined person, a responsible person. And I'm starting to get concerned that where I thought I would be right now in life, I'm not there. And it's getting fuzzier and fuzzier for me to see how to start the construction for the later years of my life, seeing that I've wasted so much time. Me and you, we do our thing. I don't want to put any pressure on you, but I want to propose a deal to you. Let's make a structured deal. Even though me and you are not in love and things like that, we both have some decent things going for ourselves, right? We're already intimate with each other. We already vibe together. You don't appear to have had nothing significant going on the last 10 years I've been dealing with you. So let's make a deal. Let's engage with each other. Do our thing. I'm not talking about being in love, but we make a commitment to each other that we're going to utilize each other's intelligence. We're going to utilize each other's resources. And even though we're not married, even though we're not in a serious relationship, I'm willing to provide for you the things that a man needs from a woman in return for you to provide for me the things that a woman needs from a man in order to start construction on her future, right? Even if we're not in love, we agree to build something, right? The man is going to provide his portion of the finances, structure, protection, strategic planning, the logical aspects of him, right? Investment planning, encouragement towards long-term security and stability. The woman provides her portion of the finances, a peaceful home, a mellow environment, emotional support, consistency, softness and cooperation, and above all, loyalty throughout the duration of this agreement, that we show true care and concern for each other, right? But the kick is you can't deal with other people, because dealing with other people will cause your intentions, your focus to drift off away from what we're doing. Now, some of you may not even understand where I'm going now, but here's what we're doing. We're creating a blueprint where you don't have to keep doing what you've been doing, but neglecting the very necessary time that is utilized to build your future. Both of you commit to us X amount of savings monthly, investing together or parallel, building credit, planning retire, but there is no long-term dating commitment. There's no dating pressure. We're doing our thing. And at any given time, if we go our separate ways, we started building from here and we're here. We've already went in on some property and we already have a contract stating that if we to go our separate ways and things like that, one can buy the shares of everything we've accumulated from the other one, right? And some of you can have a relationship where the person can see other people. The man's likely not going to go for it. I'm telling you now. A man's likely not going to be eating your kuna bird and knowing another man just pulled his children out of you, right? So women, ladies, you're going to have to be open to that. You're going to have to be open to that. Some of you may be smart enough and disciplined enough to say there will be no other partners aside of us. But here's the great thing about what I'm proposing to you guys. You guys think about this. The 10 years that you guys have been doing your thing back and forth, nothing towards your future got built. Nothing significant. Some of you may own your own home. That's fine. Some of you may not. I want to talk under the premise of the people who don't own their own homes right now. But if you do own your own home, it's the same thing. A person can move in with you or you can move in with them. I know this sounds very unorthodox, but what we are missing, what's not to be played with, what's not no game, is that clock. You won't be able to get it back. You're not losing because the 10 years that you guys have been doing whatever you've been doing, the clock wasn't in motion. But imagine if you guys agree to invest in each other's future, even if it doesn't work. Listen, even if you guys don't end up together romantically, you will both be further ahead than you were before you started this. Why can't two adults agree to level each other up? Why does everything have to be about romance before being productive? Stop building your lives around fantasy. Start building around structure and reality, observable facts. Right? Now let's address reality. What if your feelings grow unevenly? What if one person wants more? What if someone meets someone else? Then the agreement, and I'm talking about real agreement, documents, right? I'm talking about real agreements. Let me see something here. Look, my girl said, sounds great. Roof! Look, Jamie said I could get with this. See, because we're wasting time. You cannot buy time back. There is no, listen, the most powerful people haven't been able to get around that thing right there. That clock, nobody's ever been able to get around it. But here's what keeps your mind off of the high level alert that it should be on. You should have sirens going in your ear, letting you know, bro, we're 40. We're 40. There's supposed to be a sense of panic that is taking place. But guess why that sense of panic is being muffled out? Because you had some cock so fire last night, you could swear you creamed all over that man's junk 3 times in less than 15 minutes. And I'm talking about eyes rolling in the back of your head. Fellas, she was so wet it was nuts. And I'm talking about the top. Shh. See, all of these temporary pleasures and enjoyments that you're experiencing, they're keeping you from hearing the sirens going off. They're keeping you from hearing the sirens going off. But those sirens are beneficial. Listen, what is the purpose of a tsunami alert when the sirens are going off? They're letting you know. They're letting you know. Danger is coming. Danger is approaching. Do you people know what it's like to be 60 years old and have to borrow $300 from somebody you know because you're short on rent? Do you know what it's like to be 60 years old and have to borrow some grocery money? That is a life of uncertainty. And listen, for those of you who would say, I got a job and blah, 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 you have no clue what's coming ahead for us in America. The Bible goes so far as to say money will be nothing. It says they will walk over it on the ground. That's what the scriptures say. And we already see the elements. And see, a lot of you also, here's what I have come to understand. A lot of you get caught up focusing on what you see right now, what you're experiencing right now, which appears to not be so bad right now. Got a couple of $100,000 put up, right? Nice car, nice house. But what about when the boogeyman cometh? I've taught you guys about the boogeyman several times over and over. You know who the boogeyman is? The boogeyman is those unforeseen circumstances. The boogeyman is that lump that your favorite doctor found in your titty, right? That boogeyman is when your favorite doctor has examined your pancreas and all is not well, right? Lord God, why don't we think about these things that matter? See, what I believe, my personal belief is this. The later years of your life, unprepared, is like life torture. I call it life torture. Because one by one, things are going to be happening. Issues are going to be coming that need addressed. And it's going to be one after another. Once they have to amputate your toes. Once the car gets wrecked and you had liability, just a plethora of things that can come up. There's a reason why the term life turned upside down is used so prevalently. There's a reason. It's what it's the equivalent to, your life being turned upside down. Like, what do? I don't have the answers. But with an agreement like this, where there's no dating pressure, where there's no, let me see your phone, who was in your phone, all of that, you guys can really be friends. And if you guys can really be friends, with benefits even, if you can really be friends, then all of the distractions that distract people in a romantic capacity, they won't distract you. You'll still be able to, did you get that lumber? Because I thought that they said that we were going to be able to close on those acres. Like, work is being done. You guys are sitting up waiting for a perfect individual who has not come in 30 years. You can't compete with men. Men can be 60 years old. A lot of you know this. Men can be 60 years old. And if he dresses well, listen, let's get rid of all of that. All the money, the being fit. That man better not be a confident man with swag and be groomed up. Effortlessly, he could date a 35-year-old at 60. Hugh Hefner. Right? Russell Simmons. We can just name endless people who simply don't have a problem dating younger women. So if men have a safety net, listen, check this out. If a man and a woman run to a park and all hell breaks loose, we're hearing those, right? But the man came with a bulletproof vest. Where does that leave the woman?
Welcome to Death Row.
You're in trouble. Guess what men's bulletproof vest is? It's our ability to not get whooped by the clock. It's our ability to be able to date even in the later years of our lives? What if one of the two of you in this agreement meets someone else? This is why you have stipulations in the contracts. Clear terms, clear exit, no sabotage if it ends, no financial manipulation, no revenge behavior, no emotional punishment. You are not building because you are desperate. You are building because you're disciplined, and it makes sense. It makes sense to not keep waiting. You're not clinging or clingy. You're cooperating. This is not fantasy. This is structure. This is vision. This is future. Comfort has ruined the many of people. Comfort has made people lazy with their future. One thing you cannot be lazy with is your future. You cannot be lazy with your future. Because if you do, your future will most definitely be lazy with you. Imagine if your future starts neglecting you and playing you to the left. Right? Imagine if your future stops looking out for you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That just peed me off a little bit. What the heck? You guys had better get together and start thinking about these things realistically. You'd better start thinking about your future realistically. Comfort has made people wait for magic. Listen, ladies, and some of you have kids. Don't be worrying about how fine he is. Of course, you want to be attracted to a man that you're dating. Now, this is outside of the agreement. But don't be worried about how fine he is. Make sure that you're securing your future, because that clock moves so fast to where by the time you get your first bad diagnosis from your doctor, by the time you start to look up and see that all does not look well with your future, a lot of times you will be in a situation where it's very complicated to start repairing and building your future. A lot of things will have happened. A lot of things will have been put in place that make it difficult for you to pick up and start building from this point. Two heads are way better than one. Comfort is most definitely the new drug, and most adults are addicted. If your mood controls your behavior, you're still a child. Talent gets attention. Discipline builds empires. People, this is bigger than sex. This is bigger than sex. This is bigger than dating. This is about refusing to succumb to a mediocre future. This is about refusing to go into the night and just quietly pass away. This is about refusing to not have any say-so in how your future turns out. If you're already sharing a bed, why are you not sharing a blueprint? You can get somebody to accept this deal with you. Even if he's somebody that's not that attractive, even if he's what we would call a nerd. You need to start building. You need to start building. Waiting is something that you need to get far away from. That's over with. You've been doing that. You've been getting smashed by different guys. And that clock has kept going. Listen, there is an amazing, 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 amazing woman who... Never mind. I'm just going to say this. Ladies, your age matters. A man can look at you and be captivated with you. And your age could be the determining factor of him saying, she's dope as hell, but yeah, I don't want to be like 50 and she's, 60, or I'm 50 and she's 58. That matters to men. It's not about sex anymore. It's not about relationships anymore. If you're already sharing a bed, why are you not sharing a blueprint? A blueprint, a strategy for your future. No, neither of you will be missing out on anything. Do you understand how amazing that would be? Think about it. You won't have missed a beat, and you're still busting all of the nuts that you out there in the streets seeking to bust. You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. You still have that companion who's taking you out to eat and blah, blah, blah. Why can't you trust each other strategically if you can trust each other in the bedroom? If you're already trusting each other physically, trust each other strategically. Stop saying, I'll build when I find the right one. Build now. Structure now. Save now. Plan now. If it works romantically, fine. That's a cherry on top of the ice cream. If it doesn't, you still move forward prepared, having more accomplished than you would have had accomplished if you were still just dating around, waiting to build till you found your mate. That is mature masculinity. That is mature femininity. That is grown adult energy. You don't wait for love to build your life. You don't wait for certainty to secure your future. You don't wait for perfection to start discipline. Make a damn deal. My girl down here, Sweet, said, now is the time. You better know it. You better know now is the time. Love Lace definitely in the building over here supporting the show. The Bible emphasizes structure as essential for order, holiness, foundation, focusing on building up on. Now, I'm glad my brother touched on this. I am really glad because I was going to wait till later in the show. We shouldn't be having sex without having commitment to each other before God. We shouldn't be. And in my personal opinion, doing it, let me say this how I would do this, and I'm not pushing this off on you guys. I love the Lord my God, Jehovah, with my heart, and I do not. What in the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Listen, TikTok, I'm going to shut this down. They're really trying to whack me over here. They're whacking me on the second account too. Listen, come on over here to YouTube. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. Come on over here to YouTube, people. The Real Stacey Prince. Because I can't have two accounts locked out. No, YouTube. Come to the YouTube. The Real Stacey Prince. What is going on? Who is doing me like this? Is somebody really blasting me? Sending, let me see something. Give me a second. What the hell? How are we getting blocked? That's crazy. That is definitely crazy. I didn't do anything or I didn't say anything, but it's all good. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys how I would, you know what, matter of fact, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. 1,000 pardons, people. Give me a second. We're going to do this. going to do it just like this. I want you guys to know the best way to do this. Let's get to it. Listen, I don't think you guys know how important this is. I want you guys to assess. Listen, from the time you were in your 20s, let's talk about your 20s. Some of you ladies were popping. All of the men wanted you. Some of you fellas, you had the best cars and all of that stuff. All of the ladies were after you. None of us are taking into account the later years of our lives. You guys are sleeping around with various people. You're having fun. You're going to the clubs. You're doing all of this, but you're not realizing that something should be being put up or contributed to the later years of your life, your future, in your 60s and things. What's going on is people are having so much sex to where their minds are not on what they should be on. And by the time you get in this little thing that you're dealing with this little shorty, you're dealing with this guy, and you're doing your thing, you guys are pretty happy about it or whatever. You're excited. You got somebody to have sex with now. You got somebody to go places with, and it takes 3 months for you guys to go your separate ways, right? Now your clock of building towards your future starts all over. Then you find somebody else, and then you're locked into a situation with them for a year. It doesn't work out correctly. Now you start over. What is most important of all, the construction of the later years of your life, that's what you're supposed to be building on. You're not supposed to be neglecting that. You neglect a woman or a man before you neglect the structure of your future, the construction of your future. So what I suggest is you guys make a deal. Get someone that's already in a rotation, someone you already dig, and make a deal with them. Make a deal that you guys are going to do your thing, right? But at the same token, this has to be a contract because finances are involved. Make a deal that you guys are going to pull your resources together and you guys are going to start building what both of you deem acceptable as your future. If you've had plans on buying land, if you've had plans on buying a tractor that could cultivate this and that, whatever your plans are, 2 heads are better than one. You guys can't keep sleeping around and expecting your future to build itself. You can't keep on playing games and sleeping around and also be preparing for if the doctor comes in later in your 60s and tell you found a lump in your breast. If the doctor comes in and tell you found something in your pancreas. A lot of you are playing games with time that you don't have. So and you're losing out. Listen, by playing around and your clock keeps starting over, building your future, you're losing out. There's no store, there's no 7-Eleven that you can go to and buy more time. Once you figure it out, I got it figured out. And the plan only says I only need like 5 more years. Where can you go purchase 5 more years off of the 5 years you just blew partying out in the streets? You can't. So you have to make a deal with someone. You have to make a deal. You guys need to stop focusing on love. You guys need to stop focusing on, but every time I look at him, he give me butterflies in the stomach. Stop worrying about that. You have no business worrying about that type of stuff. Love, what is love? Can we even clearly define it outside of the Bible? No. You guys are chasing feelings. And anybody who doesn't give you that feeling, that bubbly, gooey feeling, you consider them a failure as a dating candidate. And now you start over dating. Now your clock starts over. A lot of you guys are going to be in trouble in your 60s because you're not building, you're not constructing your 60s right now. You're not building towards it now. So you get with somebody you've already been having sex with. You get with somebody you've been dealing with for some years, but you guys never committed to each other. And you make a deal with them. You guys start putting up for what looks like a secure future. Now, what I would do, because I can't promote anybody going against, the Lord our God Jehovah's ordinance. I can't promote that. But what I would tell you I would do, for those of you who don't know, the American marriage, it's not biblical marriage. You don't have to go in order to get locked in with each other, you could just commit to each other before God, right? The only reason I'm saying that is because I have a huge problem with staying outside of the ordinance of God, because bad things tend to happen to people. Bad things happen to people who are in the ordinance, but I'm making a point. For those of the women who say they don't want to shack up and lay up in sin and things like that, I get that, I understand it, and I receive it. So there's things that you can do. Make a public commitment to that man that you won't deal with any other men, right? By someone who you respect as an authority, who receives instructions from God, right? This is what I'm telling you guys. It's tricky because when you do that, you're not supposed to get divorced and things like that. But what I'm telling you guys is what I'm telling you guys is this. You guys have to start building, right? You got to start building. You guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a damn. Let's go. Turbulence, people. You guys have to start jumping in relationships. You guys have to stop being so picky. You guys have to stop being so, and I'm talking about the men primarily. You guys have to start jumping in relationships. That's how you build. The wealthiest people are, 80% of the richest people are married, right? You guys have to start building something because two heads are better than one. Later, when you get sick, I'm going to say it. I never, ever, ever want to lead you guys down the wrong path, so I cannot allow myself to continue with the strategy I just gave you guys. Don't play around with marriage because it's still in the eyes of God, no matter how you do it. What I would tell you guys, don't be afraid to get married. Life is very, very, very serious. It's very serious. When you're 60 years old, when you're 55 years old, and they tell you that they found an illness inside of you, who's going to help you deal with that? When you're 60 years old and you have developed a situation, you guys ever seen it? Where a person is walking scrunched over and they have that huge hump in their back. I keep telling you guys that there's a woman, she lives around here somewhere. I always see her walking hunched over, right? Pushing one of those mini carts. She's going to purchase food in a condition like that. Do you guys know how crazy and insane a life outcome like that is? Confined to handicap, confined to an illness. You basically have to learn to navigate around the confines of the cards life has dealt you versus people who have agreed to be in a partnership. They don't have to because they have a backup plan, each other. So I want to expunge what I told you guys. Don't play with marriage because you can't play with God, right? What I would advise you guys to do, this is only for those of you who are very, very serious about how the later years of your life turns out, right? Do not be afraid to get married. Ladies, at this point, you should be willing to propose to a man, unless you're a coward, or full of pride and ego. I ain't proposing. I'm real serious about my future, but I ain't gonna propose to no ninja. That ain't the way it's traditionally been. Keep playing with your future. Keep playing with it. See how it turns out. A lot of you don't even know you'll be in a car accident a year from now. We know that there's a realistic touch to that. We know it is. But what I'm going to tell you guys is this. If you do not prepare for your future will not prepare for you. I tell people this often. This show, the premise of this show is two people getting together, creating the best possible outcome for two people's lives in the later years of their lives. A lot of you are going to be in so much trouble. You need somebody. You simply do. Even the men. Life will get significantly easier for you if you grab you a helpmate. You guys got to start getting serious about what it is you say you're serious about. A lot of you say you're serious about your future, but it doesn't show in your actions. It doesn't show in your actions. If you people don't get serious about your futures, and I'm talking about what we talk about on this show, is the sense of urgency attached to the later years of your life. when the doctor tells you he needs to cut 3 toes off, when you get diagnosed with diabetes, when you're in that car accident, half your leg has to get cut off, right? When you have a terrible situation and half of your face is dented in, you won't be able to get someone to come in your life then because you will be too unattractive. You will be too much of a liability. You'd better get somebody and partner up with them while you're still attractive and while it still looks beneficial for that significant other to be willing to come in your life. You can't wait till you go out there and get a whole arm cut off in a car accident and then come back and jump on Plenty of Fish, Tinder, or Facebook dating, expecting to get favorable outcomes. You have a whole damn arm missing, lady. And what, do you think that we're supposed to be the way the Bible describes? Well, it likely wasn't her fault. And the Lord our God would want us to take that woman with the arm. You know what men are going to say? If you don't get your ass up out of here. Hey, man, somebody wheel her on the way from me. Right? Not in those terms, but based on his actions. Based on his actions, that's what you're going to get. It's what you're going to receive. What I'm telling you guys is this. It's time to make a deal. You guys sit back and wait for the perfect individual to get married to. Like, no. He got to be perfect. I got to get the right one. Meanwhile, you're out here FUCKing relentlessly without any condoms. Driving your body count up, creating a higher level of uncertainty for your life and your future. You guys are out here. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump off of, Instagram. Those of you who want to rock out with us on Instagram, come on over here to The Real Stacey Prince on YouTube. We are out of here. Let me try. I can't even try that. I know they'll whack me. Yeah, I'm not even going to try it. Is there anybody who thinks this sounds crazy? You better get you a partner. You don't wait for perfection to start building, to start construction on the later years of your life, on your future. Make a deal. Stop waiting for love. Secure your future now, even if it's not a forever future. And if it ends, you walk away ahead, not behind, because what you guys are doing right now is setting you back. You're dealing with somebody for 4 or 5 years and things like that. Then when it doesn't work out, now you have to get back to building for your future. How about the person you were dealing with? You guys were building your future the whole time. This damn thing is starting to look like it's finished. And listen, with the land that you guys have, hell, take 2 like-minded cousins and lease them a small plot of your land so you guys can start building a community. That way, when all Harry Carey falls loose in America, you guys have a community. And when I say community, I'm talking about people who handy with that if need to be. You guys are policing each other, right? You guys are making sure, leaving the welfare of your community up to you guys. What I'm telling you guys is right now, very shortly, a lot of you are going to wish to God Almighty that you still had the opportunity to reach out to somebody and start a partnership with them. You're going to wish to God that you had that opportunity. Because you won't have that opportunity all because you're playing right now. You're caught up in how many nuts you can bust right now. You're caught up in how fire her head is. She's caught up in how fire your pole is. You guys are playing like children, to be quite honest. You're playing like children with something that is not to be played with. Your future. Your future is not to be played with. My brother says, this boy here, my little brother, he said, this boy here is crazy. Like, because they know how serious I am about the future. They know. Shout out to Chad in this situation. Put a few bucks in till y'all put a few bucks in the till, y'all. And so basically he said, support the show, people. This mother Kerrigan. I like that name. Said, I'm exhausted. Todd Martin definitely in this situation. I know a coworker who recently had to borrow money, and he is 70 plus years old, still playing the lottery. Hey, listen. Dwayne just said something. Nobody wants men and women to make a deal. They're blocking that content. That's the only thing that I can go for. We got blocked for not one curse word. I can't imagine how we got blocked. Okay. Michael said they hate to hear the truth and reporting your page. That's crazy. And you know what's crazy about that? Listen. Hey, only 1K. Listen, K said it's not over for a man until he's gone to glory. It's not. So many women are going to be in so much trouble trying to keep up with men. You can't do it. We are built and designed a way by God Almighty that allows us to have leverage dating in the later years of our lives. You don't. When you start to age, it becomes visible. It becomes visible. When you start to age, certain components become less desirable for us. And then this is what leads us to looking towards younger women. Listen, a lot of you aren't even taking care of your bodies. A lot of you are out here getting blasted down from behind, spinned around on the chandelier, right? So by the time Stacey Prince gets a hold to you, I feel how loose that thing is. What the hell have you been doing, woman? I'm nice down there. And I just slid all the way in there effortlessly. Got me feeling some type of way by myself. Am I little? I can't mess with her. Men don't like that. Men don't like that juicy, loosey-goosey. Because it tells us a lot about you. It tells us you probably shouldn't be going in here bare. How'd that thing get gaped open like that? What have you been doing, and who have you been doing it with? Right? Hell you been doing, woman? So now that I feel this way about you, bang, 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 daddy, bang, 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 daddy, bang. That's what I have to offer you. See, because listen, what matters to men is that our peers respect us. And we gain respect from our peers by the women we date and everything. They'll either make fun of us, shoot a couple of shots, or they'll say, I see you, my guy. I see you. Conversations will be like this. You don't know Stacey Prince? No, that's my guy. Yeah, he's pretty much got his stuff together. Listen, amazing, beautiful woman. Or, you heard of my guy Prince. You don't know him? You probably seen him in here with us. 6 foot something. Yeah. No, dude is cool dude, man. I mean, we can't stand this bitch though, man. But I mean, he cool. You're going to affect us one of those ways. You're going to affect us. You are a part of our resume. You are most definitely a part of our resume. Shout out to Lovelace in this situation, rocking out with us, supporting us. A partner is an individual who collaborates with others, sharing responsibilities, risks, and rewards in mutually beneficial relationship. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and drop the what's the name down here. Anybody who wants to call in, you can call in. Let's get to this thing, people. Let's get to it. The number is downstairs for those of you who want to call in and be a part of the show. You don't have to come up on video. What is going on? But this is what I'm telling you guys. Listen, in order for you guys to be able to feel comfortable right now, you have to already have done some type of construction on your future. You should not feel comfortable. You should not be able to rest comfortably, and you don't have the infrastructure for your future put together. Do you know what it looks like? Are you prepared for all of the things that we suggest are going to be hitting the America? Because see, I can't get comfortable. I have to know that I have a couple of properties that I can go to where I have a surplus of things in case things ever happen. Right? Some of you are so far removed away from that level of thinking to where it has become a detriment in your life. And listen, imagine this. Imagine being in the later years of your life and things are really bad, money's not right. And if you have to ask yourself, why am I in this predicament? The first thing that comes to your mind is, I was out there doing all of that partying and getting smashed, which means you traded orgasms and fun for your future. That's crazy. I'll do it. I've proposed it to a couple of women. The only thing that can make it fail is when women, well, I'm not going to say make it fail. What I would suggest to you guys is when you approach a woman with a deal like this, make sure she understands that we're going into this thing under the premise. But I'm going to say this. I think you guys should be down with getting married because I cannot allow myself to knowingly be sinning against the ordinance of God. I wouldn't advise you to get married under America's contract. I would never advise that. But I'm saying you can have an ordained person to marry you. You can go to an Indian reserve or however you need to do it because the covenant is between you and God. It is not between you and America. America is what destroyed marriages. And I mean, you should be dead serious about trying to make it work. Right? And you shouldn't go into it with a person like, if you go into something like that with a person, you should already know enough about them to know that it's going to be a worthy deal. You should already know that in the event that neither of us disrespect each other, I would be okay living the rest of my life with this person as long as nothing's going bad. Because we're not supposed to get divorces, people. That's scripture. We're not supposed to get divorces. For those of you who think that by linking up with a significant other, for those of you who are looking at it like, but I'm going to be giving up so much. I'm still valuable in the dating market. I got all these hoes digging me. My finances are up. For those of you thinking I'm that bad B, my titties is perky, and my blah, 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 and all of this. Ladies, know this. In 5 years, you won't know how to spell the word perky. Okay? What I'm telling you guys is this. When you walk into this situation, it should be with somebody who, if things didn't go wrong, that person didn't betray you or things like that, you'd be okay spending your life with that person. I think this. I think what's hurting these relationships is the dating pressure. I think if you go into this thing like partnerships, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you both don't have to fulfill the duties of the man and woman. That woman should be exuding femininity. That woman should be in a situation to where she can be everything a wife is supposed to be to a man. But you guys aren't playing by the rules that America plays by. You're playing by your own rules, and you're making sure that you may stay within the covenant of God. I don't think any of us are supposed to be out here just having random sex. I don't think that. Because how I get my answers from things, I weigh the typical outcomes. I say to myself, this thing that I'm contemplating doing right now, what would the world be like if everybody did it? So ask yourself, What would the world be like if everyone was running around having sex just randomly? You would see what you see right now. You would see people thinking that a child is theirs and it's not. It would be everything that you see right now. But you can escape that. You can escape that. All you have to do is position yourself correctly and make a deal with the right woman. Position yourself correctly and make a deal with the right man. Listen, I want the ladies down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you would be down with a deal like this. If I offered each one of you women this deal and told you my finances are already together, I'm now in the stages of da-da-da, me and you have been doing our thing, give me a thumbs up if you would embark upon a partnership with me like that. Building for each other's life. Listen, and in the event that things didn't work out, we have a contract to where the assets that we put together, one can buy the other one out or things like that. Or if no one's buying anyone out, you split the things down, things like that, right? Because let's say that the girl still wants to be a hoe. The streets have come a calling her, right? The streets have come a calling her. Now she's ready to get back out there. That shouldn't affect all of the work that you did in preparing for your future. If the person who reneges on this agreement, they should have to be the one to take the hit. That means they get half of the half that they were gonna get, right? This is what I'm telling you guys. They should get a quarter of what they were gonna get instead of half, right? What I'm telling you guys is if you don't pay attention and start strategically putting together a blueprint for your future, look, Embrace the Grace said it's the only way to go, at least for me. I'm telling you right now, people are going to look up and we're going to see on the news some terrible things that have happened in America, and people are going to be like distraught, devastated, lives turned upside down. Look, my girl Kay said, you already know. You guys have to first develop an open mindset. You guys have to be willing to get married. And I do not advise anybody to get married under America's tradition. I wouldn't advise that for anybody. America's tradition of marriage has nothing to do with God. But what I'm telling you is, if you get with a partner, that's what I was going to tell you guys. Where it could get tricky is if feelings start to get developed way more serious than what you guys agreed to, and she's really I don't see anything wrong with that, but it's not what you guys originally agreed to. So a conversation is going to need to be had. The man is going to have to be the man and reinforce the original agreement that you guys had. And he's going to have to let her know, it doesn't mean that I don't feel some way about you, but I just want to make sure the eye's on the prize. Like, you're a woman and love might be the prize for you, but I'm a man. My future and how it turns out is the prize for me. And I got to make sure that I retain enough focus to build that thing adequately enough for it to be comfortable once I get that old. You're going to have to keep reminding her. She's a woman. She's going to be emotional. Yeah. I'm not encouraging anybody. Let me see. Marriage is overrated. Marriage is overrated. Well, it depends on what your faith is and things like that. I agree to a certain extent, but for people, I don't consider myself a fake Christian. I consider myself to do bull crap at times that I later repent for. But I think as much as life within you, abide by God's structure, because things typically only get better for you, right? And if God says it's not in his, that he does not condone you just being out there getting smashed, you probably shouldn't do it. Listen, I'm not pressing my faith off on you. I'm telling you what we can apply the bar of logic to and see how far it works. We know it works. Anything that you wouldn't want your daughter doing, you probably shouldn't do. Right? If you wouldn't want your daughter out there being busted down and things like that, not preparing for her future, you probably shouldn't do it. That right there is the key indicator that you're embarking upon something you shouldn't be embarking upon. Listen, you're going to have to keep this woman under control, because here and there, and ladies, I'm going to tell you this because you guys have a way with this. If you get busted down, that man's not going to want you anymore. Inside this agreement that you guys have, if you get busted down, that man is not going to want you anymore. And now you will be right back to starting over. So when your little cooter cat gets wet and sloppy and gets, yeah, right? You're purring over there, that thing throbbing and vibrating a little bit. Just think about this. If somehow your mischief comes to light, it will defeat the purpose of the entire deal, because now here you are starting all over again. And by contractual obligation, you're going to forfeit some of the things that you and this man have already built. I think you guys are taking life way too. It's got to be love. No, it don't. It doesn't have to be love. It could be strategically moving in a way to where you will be setting yourself up and your partner up for a cozy, comfortable life outcome. Listen, let me ask the people this. Yep. Under God removes feeling like a big sinner by having sex out of wedlock. I agree. Yep. There's nothing like, and see, I believe in God. So I believe in the concept of intentionally participating in sin can bring bad fortune upon us. Do you know how cool it is to be operating inside of the confines of God's ordinance? You won't have anything to be running around feeling guilty about. You could smash your chick, get topped off, get the craziest head, right? Without feeling any type of way about it. Anytime you need to blow somebody's back out, she's right there at the crib. Ladies, you are going to have to do practices and exercises and things like that prevent you from getting tired of seeing the same old face in that man. We can get tired of seeing the same old face in an individual. And that right there causes trouble in relationships. You need to do exercises and things like that periodically. When you start feeling like there's no fire and fireworks inside of the situation anymore, periodically and occasionally, just go up and grab his cock. While he's at the refrigerator, just go up and, right? You guys have to do, it's just like everything else in the world, right? Cars need upgrades because their parts get worn. You think that your excitement for a relationship won't get worn? You have to constantly upgrade it. You have to do things that make it still seem savory. A lot of you guys want the relationship to do the work for you. Soon as something goes wrong, or soon as it doesn't feel the way it used to feel, you're ready to let the relationship tell you what to do next. Well, this ain't working. No, how about you put some work in to get that thing back where it was at? How about you start when he comes in from work, he can barely get the door open because you're on your knees right in front of the door with your mouth open. And fellas, likewise. I think what's going on in a lot of these relationships, what's destroying a lot of these relationships, it's the childishness. People want it their way. People want to prove I was right and that person was wrong. It's the childishness. You guys listen, ladies, and I'm going to tell you first and foremost, you better be willing to marry somebody. Ladies, if you don't latch on to a man and put your resources together and you two start building towards a future, you are going to be hurt very significantly in the future. You are going to be hurt bad. You're not going to have anything or anyone to lean on. Those of you who keep on talking about your education and your money, the Bible says a time is going to come where your money is not going to be any good. And we know that they're already working on it. We know that they're already working on a one world currency. One world government. And those of you who can't keep up with this change, you're going to get left in the dust. You're going to get left in the dust. You don't understand that a lot of these things that come our ways that bring insurmountable levels of turbulence in our lives, most of the times we brought it. Most of the time we ushered that stuff into our lives. And then we want to trip because it's there. Brother Scott said what he's saying is actually how people used to think for centuries before marriage. Marriage back then was about heritage, survival, and legacy, not love. Yeah, I think that love thing is kind of childish. I think it's really childish. I think it's hyper level childish. You guys are waiting on something that you can't even define, even in the dictionary. You guys are waiting for somebody to come along with the ability to make you feel a certain type of way. Because that's what most of you describe love as, a feeling. That was beyond gross. That was undoable. Jeez. Cold coffee, black coffee. Listen, Embrace the Grace said, I would rather pay 50s. Do you guys have any clue how much easier life is when you're sharing life's liabilities? When you're sharing life's difficulties? That means the things that typically come by and knock us off of our feet, well, it won't knock us off the feet this time because we have a partner. It'll jolt us, knock us to the side a little bit. But because I have a partner sharing the blow with me, it's not going to knock me off of my feet this time. It's going to jolt me a little bit, right? It's very important that you guys pay attention to what Grace just said. I would rather pay 50% than 100. We have some people so mentally handicapped to where they're literally running around saying that they won't go 50-50. And I mean, I think that mindset alone should let us know that we are in the last stages of this system. That's almost like saying, I don't want no raise. Keep my wages the same. Need no damn raise from you. Do you know how ignorant you sound to everybody else? We know it's only pride because we know the deal makes sense. You won't go 50-50, you moron. You're doing 100% of your responsibilities now. Lovelace said the Bible emphasizes the significance of covenant commitment and respect in relationships. See what I'm saying? Look how easily that could be achieved. I think we're going to start a marriage movement. We're going to start a marriage movement. Look, listen, talk that talk. I'd gladly go 50-50. We think you guys are slipping, your transmission is slipping up here when you say that. 50-50, I wish a nigga would approach me with, okay, dummy. What? Seaside done found his way back to the, up in this mother. Shout out to Seaside. In this situation. You already know, man, nothing but love, Seaside. I'm not finna butcher this name. Yes, I am. Quabin. We got somebody whose name is similar to this on the show because I can pronounce it. But Quabin, I hope I'm not mispronouncing it, says you have to love yourself before you can be loved. That's 500% false. It's 500% false. I can be crazy about you regardless how you feel about yourself and continue distributing my true care, concern, and love towards you, and you won't even know that you don't love yourself. Right? And let's talk about the definition of love yourself. Like, what does that entail? I always feel good. I'm thinking that that's what people are thinking. I'm thinking that that's what people. Shout out to Biggs over here, making sure people are locked in with the membership. Listen, my brother Biggs over here setting this joint off. Rutherford definitely in this situation, rocking out with us. Hey, y'all done rubbed men the wrong way over these last 15, 20 years. My brother said happy MGTOW Day. Y'all done got up under men's skin. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm about to start doing something really cool for the people who support the show on the regular. It's almost going to be like a birthday to my people, right? I'm going to really start saluting the people who go out of their way. They get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, travel in cold or weary or messed up traffic for a paycheck, go through all of what they go through to get it, and still find a way to support the show. I had already been thinking about this without it being corny, of course, but my people need appreciation for all that they do for the show. Like, I think it's a privilege for me to see my people all sharing common beliefs. That's really important to me because you get enough people to share the same common beliefs, we can move some things. We can move some things. These complaints that we have up here, we can remedy some of them. We can remedy some of them. We're going to have to get our own thing going. It's just point blank. That's what it is. Because we can't get all women to not want to be thoughts. We can't get all men to not want to be losers. We're going to have to be of one mind, believing the same things, right? Saying you good, Stacy. Like, oh, boy over here butchering my name. Look, Lovelace said that's a lie, been told for years. Yeah, listen, here's the thing. We hear things, and black people, especially black women, it becomes ear candy. Oh, I said what I said. Period. If you knew better, you would do better. Long as I got my rent and my bills paid, I'm good. A lot of sayings that you guys have accumulated over the time are corrupting your database. Yeah. KB, I agree with that. Well, maybe I should have said you should love yourself first. Here's what I'll agree with you on. It's best if you love yourself first. That would be better. It would get you further along the line, right? Shout out to my people over here setting this the International Quiet Storm definitely in the building, rocking with us. Day one for real. My brother said dropping in to support brother Stacy. Salute from Singapore. We international again. Bro. Biggs definitely in the building, always rocking with us. Shout out to AJ and Lovelace. That's what my brother said. I agree. No one else will. I agree. The reason that I love this show is because I get so much more from this. See, I'm an implementer. I take information and I implement it. It's really difficult for me to come across viable information and not be willing to implement it. It bothers me. Even when I'm in my bed, it bothers me that I have come up with a very decent plan, but I won't execute it. I don't like that. I have a problem with that. So the information that is derived from the studies that we do to even create these shows, it's good information that I get to take in. For me, you guys benefit as well, but I'm concerned with how my life turns out. So the more and more information that I get on how I can create that life outcome for myself, I'm down with it. Seriously. We got to start putting up for our futures. We have to. If you don't deal with your future will deal with you. I swear. I've watched it. A lot of you have watched it. A lot of you have watched it. You've watched it happen. You've watched aunties die alone. And you've watched the later stages when they had to put her in the nursing home. Who the hell would go through that if they don't have to? Crazy? Shout out to my bro. You already know what it is. This is my day one for real. Said congratulations on hitting 20K subscribers, Stacy. Very proud of you. I appreciate the love, bro. Listen, at this point, me and Quiet Storm family up in this. Like, been here since the beginning of the show. I don't mean the beginning of today's show. I'm talking about when I first decided to plug all this equipment up. That brother's been rocking with me ever since. Yeah, Jay said time doesn't wait for anyone. And it's very important that something is getting set up right now that will be the cushion, the spring for the later years of your life. You need a cushion because you're not going to come up with $1.8 million cash on your own. To be honest, if we're being honest, two of you aren't going to come up with it, but you're going to get closer than what you would if you were only one person. Not only that, two people's ideas can get them around the parts of the 1.8 million that they say it takes around 1.8 million to $2 million to provide for yourself from retirement age all the way up into the last days of your life. So with two people, what you guys lack in your 1.8 million, two minds can come up with resources to compensate for it. But one mind says, I've already borrowed from my uncle and I've already borrowed from my mom. I don't have any other guesses. But if you had a significant other, you could say this: I've already borrowed money from my mom. I've already borrowed money from my from my auntie. And now here your dude is. Don't worry about it. You know, my cousin, my uncle owns that car dealership. You know, he's a millionaire. I'll reach out to him, see what he can. Resources. Now, where you were at your end, you're not at your end because you have another person who has resources. It doesn't make any sense for you guys to be, it's ego. Listen, and I'm going to tell you ladies this. I'm going to tell a lot of the ladies this. Okay. I'm going to tell a lot of you ladies this. Listen, ladies, some of you have children, and listen, some of you are approaching 50 years old. Humble yourself. You're not going to get the caliber of man who you think is fine, the caliber of man who doesn't have the flaws that you're not going to get him. You're older. Your looks have waned down. And the crazy part is, it's all good. Can you imagine how dope it is having a person sit on that couch over there while Stacey Prince is doing the show, and that person is sticking their tongue out at me, letting me know what she's going to do to me after the show is over with? Can you imagine one of you ladies walking in your house and there's a man who's already cooked your favorite meal, is sitting on the couch, and he's walking around in an apron, butt naked? You guys are going to miss out on life. Life takes place. Oh, that's right. Listen, that's right. Listen, I didn't even adjust it for inflation, and that was some years ago. That was like 3 years ago. I bet that brother could be right. But I feel like I just did that brother don't get up here and just Inflation has increased that projection from $4.5 million to $5 million with a projected increase to $10 million by 2040. Keep playing. Keep playing. You crazy? You people are the blind leading the blind. You better go out there and marry somebody. The reason I say go out there and marry somebody you've already been busting down, how much Cuda Bird do you need? Hey, Seaside, that's something that I would do. My chick coming home, I might be in that apron running around here with nothing on. Listen, my bro said my 52-year-old friend just got a new 23-year-old boo thing, though. Men and women are not the same. That's why I keep on telling you, you can't do what men can do. Men, we can keep playing. I'm going to be honest with you. We can keep playing till we're 60 and then decide to get serious. We can keep playing until, listen. This race for equal rights and women to be able to do what they think men can do, well, the actual factual aspect of it is you can't physically do what men can do. Like, you literally can't. We're not talking about any type of petitions that get filed, any type of organization. You can't do it physically, biologically. You can't do it. You can't have as many actual partners as we can have. And I'm talking about that. Listen, I'm bang, 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 daddy, bang, 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 daddy, bang. I'm talking about that good stuff. Listen. I'm talking about where that man got sweat beads running down the crevice of his back, right? I'm talking about where you got that one lonely tear that's dripping down the side of your eye because that man is deep inside of you hitting that button. I'm talking about you really feeling some type of way. That thing is getting massaged unlike any other time you've experienced. This man knows how to have it in you and be touching all other aspects of your body at the same time, sucking on your neck. You experience that with 20 different men and see how life turns out from you. You will be a wreck. You will be a wreck. You won't really know how to function. You've experienced all of these emotions, all of these dopamine releases. What do they say about when people smoke tree? Like, what do they say? Your tolerance goes up higher? Why don't you think the same thing happens with having orgasms, dopamine releases? You become numb to it after a while. If you figure out a way to continuously have dopamine releases and orgasms, the value of the dopamine releases and the orgasms will become very menial. Right? A man, on the other hand, we can blow backs out endlessly. We can put so many miles on that pole, and it won't affect us any. None. Listen, somebody in the comments, tell me how a man sleeping with 50 women affects him. Give me a way. Tell me how it affects a man. I want to see. I want to see. How does it affect a man? KB said men are the dominants. Yes. You simply cannot do what we can do. And the sooner you dismiss it, the sooner you'll stop doing damage to yourself, damage to your biology. You guys are destroying your biology. Terminal disease? What the hell? Men have 50 partners, terminal disease? I don't know what that means. I'm with Seaside though. It makes us more confident. Look. ZF said it makes him more desirable. The best way to get woman is to get woman. It's a fact. Women have admitted that. Right? It doesn't affect us. You guys are trying to do what we can do, but there's things that we can do that don't affect us that do affect you. So why would you be trying to do what we can do if there's things that we can do that you can't do? All right, people, we approaching the 2-hour mark. I am leaving this number down. The call-in line is open for those of you who have a question or blah, blah, blah. Those of you who disagree, the call-in line is down. The number is at the bottom of the screen. I prefer to sleep with other cultures, women in their 20s. That's crazy. I got kicked off of TikTok. How the hell? What's going on? That's crazy. But I definitely want you guys to start becoming open to the concept of just getting married. Why does so much thought have to go into getting married? There should be thought taking place in a life partner, things like that, somebody you're going to love. But I encourage people to get married without the notion of love. Get married because of duty. The Bible doesn't say anywhere that you're supposed to get married. They still, listen, they still have, did you know arranged marriages have higher success rates than American marriages? Because you guys are marrying for something that is fleeting, feelings. That's crazy. You marry out of obligation and devotion. Yeah. My brother Ether said Al Pacino is set to have another baby, allegedly. You can't do what we can do, and it's blasting you women, even trying to move around in society like you can do what we can do. I think we're going to do a show that lays out the things men can do that women can't do. I think that would be better. Pleased. Yes, it didn't mess it up. All right, people, we have nobody hitting the call-in line. Like I always tell you guys, stop talking when there's nothing to say, because it leaves more room for you to say something foolish, right? Listen, those of you who have not become members of the show, you're missing all of our hottest content. It's $2.99 a month. Don't worry about hearing money in your head. That's what black people typically do. We view money and things like that as, the boogeyman. Listen, you can get all of our old shows, even this show right here. When we get done doing these shows, we push them into the members only, and only the members can see the shows. All of our hottest content from 4 years ago, how this show became what it became. I need 10 people to become members before we shut the show off. I need 10 people to become members. All you have to do is hit the thing to become a member to the show. You will get access to all of our hottest content. And our content isn't entertainment. Our content is geared towards life change. Some of the hottest interviews that we've done, 3 to 7 hour long shows with some of the most animal-like people, right? I need 10 people to sign up as members. Let's go. Let's go, people. Let's go. Let's get to it. They said 10. Nigga, we ain't giving you one.
Don't you ever talk to me like that again. You hear me? Let's say good night to the bad guy. Bang, 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 daddy, bang. Bang, 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 daddy, bang. Get over here. Tragic. She belongs to the streets.
My doctor has notified me that I'm morbidly obese.
You fucking crazy, man. You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
What kind of stupid ass question is that?
Can't believe you say no funky shit like that.
Next time you hear grown folks talking, shut the fuck up, here.
Oh yeah, no, it's done. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'4",
How much do you weigh?
180.
Goodbye.